Phil Rahab, take one.
So just growing up was just very difficult. Being I felt like I was the only Jehovah's Witness at school, and then everyone else was just like kind of felt like this Samaritan woman at one point, and just felt like an outcast. All my life growing up, and just not be able to celebrate holidays, birthdays, and stuff like that. It was very confusing to see that, especially when you're going to a public school and everyone else is celebrating. I was told that if I hung out with everyone at school, that they would like show and teach me things that I shouldn't be doing or where I shouldn't be going. Some people invited me to come to church. Told my parents about it. I was like, no, you can't go to church. Like, you're not allowed to go. And I asked why. And it was like, well, a lot of church members, they do a lot of things that we don't celebrate and we don't do. God's name's taken out of the Bible. So I'm just like, I was so confused because God's name is in the Bible. But he has multiple names, so just like, I'm so confused. And I started reading the Bible for myself. Nothing added up to their teachings and what scriptures was telling us. So I decided to sit down and talk to the elders, and all my questions that I had, they were unable to answer them. So I left, and then just like, you know what, forget religion, forget reading the Bible, everything else. It was just like, I was so conflicted about everything else. Like, apparently if I go to church, it's gonna upset my family. And I felt like I was going down a path of just atheism, but you know, I just didn't feel like my heart wanted to be there. Decided to still live my life. I met a girl, and then we ended up living together. We ended up breaking up. The breakup ended so bad to where we were in this really big fight. Just words thrown at each other, to where the words was so bad to where it was just like, I wanted to kill myself. So I was just like, okay, I can't find anywhere I belong or where I want to be. Did that like after college, just trying to find my place and everything else. And that was like the biggest thing I had, just like comparing my life to so many people and so many things. It was a really big problem in my life, and that's something that I struggle with. So since I couldn't find any like happiness or like find my place in the world, I was just like, why should I even be here, kind of thing. And that's why I felt like. So I decided to 2019, and a lot of people on social media saw like what I was doing, but I went out and traveled, spent all the money that I had saved up, spent time with all my family members, and spent time with everybody. But what I did was I wrote letters to everyone, so when I were to leave, like, this is what I want everybody to know, like, y'all had a really huge impact in my life for the people that were there through all those hard times. And then the last thing I was gonna do was just hang out with my mom and my niece, and that was the last thing I did. And decided to not shoot myself because I actually sold all my guns that I had at the time. The thoughts I had was life sucks. It's hard, it's difficult, it's painful. Do I really want to do this? Or is it something that I should do or should I not do? A lot of thoughts going on. Who I'm going to hurt, who I'm leaving behind, who else I'm not going to meet. So have like, it was like during that time I had a love-hate relationship for people. But I always liked and loved meeting new people. I still love meeting new people and then having a conversation with them. But that's what was going through my head during those times. I decided to go to Savannah River. Not jump off the Talmadge Bridge, but just like sit at the river for a while and then just, you know, just reflect on my life and what was going on and all the things that I've been through, ups and downs. I feel like most downs, but that's what I wanted to do. So I sat on the bench and just thought about it for a second. I was gonna jump in the river. Now I'm a really good swimmer, but decided to just go and just jump in the river. So I sat there for a while and just kept thinking about it. And out of nowhere, this homeless man came out of nowhere and started talking to me. First thing he asked for, he was like, "Hey, you got any change on you?" All I had was like 37 bucks in my pocket. Just gave him all I had. He's like, "You sure you want to give me all this?" I was like, "Yeah, just take it. Like, I don't care about it no more. It means nothing to me. It's probably the last thing I have in my account anyway, so just take it." So he's like, "Man, God bless you." I was like, "Really though? Does God really truly bless me?" Like, and he's just like, "Why would you say that?" I'm like, "Because I don't feel blessed at all. Like, what has he done?" I said, "Since I've grown up, like, all I've known is just people are just cruel, they're mean, they take advantage of you. People are not out here for your best intentions. So what's the point of even being here?" And then he said, and I quote everything he said, and I'll never forget what he said. He said, "Well, if you look around, you'll see that things are meant for your good. It just depends on what you do about it, what makes a difference." So I was just like, "Yeah, but really, how can you say that when you're homeless?" He's like, "I choose to be homeless." And I'm like, "Oh, then why is that? Why do you choose to be homeless?" He's like, "Because I walk around and help people become wise and let people know that everything will be okay. That no matter what you do, everything will be okay." So we sat there and I still thought about jumping in that water. Didn't really care what he had to say. And then the last thing he said to me as we stood there in silence for a while, he patted me on the back with his dirty hands that he had. And he said, "Whenever you're ready to come find me, you know what to do." And he got up and left. And I just still sat there for a while. And I didn't jump in the water, but I went up to go look for him. Couldn't find him. So it made me stop myself from jumping in the water. Got in my car, cried the whole way going back. I had a moment, it's like, "Oh God, I'm all in. Like, whatever you want me to do, I'll do it. Whatever you need me to do, I'll do it. I'm not sure what you want for me to do, but whatever it is, I'm all in. I just want all of you. Just be less of myself and just more of you." When I had that resurrection in my life, that God does want you to enjoy your life. Like, he created all these things for us to happen. He even used people as vessels to like help us out in everything. So for me to look at God now, that he loves and cares about me, and he's always here for me, that didn't happen out of nowhere. Like, it had to happen for a reason. Like, someone's watching over me, and I know it's him. I decided to just change. Started to go church hunting and look for where I belong, and everything just changed in 2020. Found LCC because of Adam Lighty, inviting me to a men's Bible study group. We kept having breakfast every Monday morning. Those guys pour a lot into me. Everything just changed. It changed like that too. It was crazy. If anyone's like going through that, I'll say just don't give up. Like, keep going. God wants us to seek and search. Back in Matthew 6:33, it says, "Seek first the kingdom, and I'll be added to you." I mean, I'm a living truth and living testimony of that. And if I didn't seek him first, other than things of this world, and I'm pretty sure I probably would be like floating in that river.